What's going on, guys? Avatarmanz here, and I thought I would do a car garage kind of showcase for you guys about the different cars, my designs, and what I use on a daily basis. So I guess we can start off with my classic Dominus. Now this has been my original car design that I have been using since the day the Dominus came out. And of course, when we get into it, the Dominus also did come with the Cristiano wheels. In my opinion, still the best looking wheels in the game. The second they come out with colored variants of these is the day that the Rocket League economy is going to blow up. I really do believe that these are going to be probably one of the most, depending on like how vibrant they are, the most valuable wheels in the game. My signature one was always the orange team because orange is my favorite color and my favorite color for Rocket League. So this was kind of my signature orange Phoenix. I really did like to use the metallic paint as well. So you can see I've got the wings decal, but the metallic pearl, paint finish is the one that I really used. As far as paint colors, I wanted to choose a lighter primary color and then have the metallic pearl blend into a darker finish. So that's what you see here. So that's my blue color. And then again, the same thing for the orange. I really like to choose a bright base and then choose a similar color on the same spectrum as my primary, just really dark to make it blend really nicely. For the boost, back then there wasn't as many boosts or wheels or anything like that, so I really just used the flamethrower boost for both orange and blue team. Sometimes I would throw in the blue flamethrower, but the standard one is just typically mine. I've always really liked the flamethrower, and you guys will see that boost pretty much in every vehicle that I use. And again, this is something that they didn't have back then, but for trails, I like to just keep it pretty simple. You notice that I don't do too many flashy cars, but I like to kind of color match if I can. I've been choosing between the diamond and the light speed. I really like the light speed, but I choose it up between these two, or I switch it up between these two. And then for orange team, I use friction. It's just very nice to look at, very simple, doesn't get in your way. Oh, and then the Gull Explosion, sorry. I never mess with any antennas or toppers or really engine audio. I really like the Takumi, so sometimes you'll see me use that one instead, but pretty much all those, all the engine audios are going to be the same as the default cars. For Gull Explosion, I think I have pretty much almost every car preset at Ballistic. But yeah, so there's that. That's one of my most used cars in the game. You can see that with the Dominus. I've got over 5,500 wins. Anyways, moving along. Again, this is just another upgraded variant of my last one. Again, the same thing. I really like to choose a black theme with both of these cars. So what I did is instead of using like a static decal, I like to upgrade it with heatwave. It's a very classic one. Again, the same exact paint finish. You'll notice that the same exact primary color, but instead of going to a dark blue, I went to a black. And then again, just instead of the orange team, I also do like to use the orange team because it fades into red at the beginning or at the front of the car. But then I went to a straight black. So with this, I chose black. I think they're black Veloci wheels. Or no, yeah, black Veloci wheels. For both teams. These are the darkest wheels in the game, and they're like the OG black wheel. For my rocket boost, I used the white flamethrower. I'm not as huge of a fan as the blue one as I am the white one, so that's why I'm really not using a color matched boost with this. The white flamethrower looks really badass though, in my opinion, so that's why I'm using it. And then of course we have to use the red flamethrower for this team. It's really vibrant, really stands out on the field. And again, no antennas or toppers. My trail, though, pretty similar between friction and light speed. Nothing too different there. Same engine audio. And then the same Gull Explosion. So that's my two Dominus ones. Now I have a couple Octanes that I'm going to go through. The first one, I can't wait until the next update on April 3rd, where we're going to be able to choose between colored variants of each cars to be able to equip multiple cars to each team. So if I have a red Octane, I'd like to just keep that as my orange car. And then once I get a blue Octane, I'll be using that for this car. So that's kind of why it looks a little mismatched right now, but I think I still pulled it off. But I'm going to eventually change these wheels to a blue spider wheel, and then a blue variant of the car. But yeah, it's really where the orange team really shines. You guys can see that here. It's really probably one of my most flashier cars. I don't really like to use, black market decals as much as I used to, so I really do like this decal here. This decal is Octane Dune Racer, and the paint finishes for these. For this one, I chose Octane Kilowatt as my decal, and then if you choose that same paint finish for your primary and accent, it'll blend really well. You can see the front skull here kind of blends into the front. But for the orange team, I went a little bit more flashy with the red and black combo. For wheels, I got red Wonderments on my orange team, and then just red spider wheels for that. And again, red flamethrower for both teams. That's only temporary. Again, no octane, no thing here. But for my trail, this is due to the new spring Easter crate that I just chose as my rainbow trail for both teams. Nothing too crazy there. And again, ballistic as my goal explosion. Not too crazy about those. Doesn't really matter. But you'd think with how often I score that I'd get more goal explosions. But anyways. Next up is my hotshot. Now, everybody knows that I love this car a lot. And I usually keep it as the default. But usually, I swear, I think this car is the most Hot Wheels, most plasticky looking car in the game. But it's also one of my favorites. It does look kind of hideous, but I really like the way it handles, and I really like the way I can dribble with it. So this is usually my standard hotshot, is just a default one, red and or orange and blue. But I recently decided, since I started using it a little bit more, that I would trick it out a little bit. So I chose I chose a Striker 20XX for both sides. And then again, I chose the same paint finish just to make the front end to look really good. Because if you choose a darker variant, it doesn't look as cool. You can see that the front end swaps. It looks a lot cooler this way, with the stripes being much more defined in the front. So if you choose a similar paint finish, the stripes on the front will really pop out, and that's what makes this car look really good, in my opinion. I chose to do just a different wheel. Neptunes are also one of my favorites. So I chose orange and sky blue Neptunes for that. And then I chose something a little different. I usually don't do very many boosts besides flamethrower. But I did go with the default sparkles and then orange sparkles. Or blue sparkles, sorry, sky blue. Again, no toppers or antennas. My trail, Season 4 diamond. And then the Hylotide, I really like the way that looks on this car. Again, default engine audio. And then I actually chose to do Sub-Zero, just kind of change it up a little bit. Sub-Zero is also one of my favorite goal explosions. So for my body, again, you can't really change a whole lot with the Batmobile. I've been using Alpha Console, so that's why I have like a bunch of these options enabled. But it's basically just this default, my standard colors as I always use, orange and blue team, default rocket boost, everything. I don't change anything with the Batmobile. I use the default trail, default engine audio. The only thing I do change is the goal explosion. It's really obnoxious, and I'm not a huge fan of it, so I just use Sub-Zero. It's my default go-to, really. Then this is kind of like probably my most used one besides my other Octane preset, my Octane Spectre. So again, this is one of the decals that I like a lot that a lot of other people don't. So that's kind of like what I use that's special. But it's basically just Octane Spectre, the black market decal. It's really cheap. You can get it for a couple keys. And then, again, as I mentioned, for primary blue team, you want to choose something that you can blend with really well on the front. Because if you choose another variant of the car, you can see it's got a bunch more accents on the lines. There's a black line in the middle with, just a slight green in there. It doesn't look as nice. Even if you choose something pretty similar, it doesn't look as good. So that kind of looks okay in my opinion, but if you choose something that's the same, it blends these stripes into black here with the same paint finish, and I think in my opinion that looks really cool. I really like how it blends really lightly onto the black stripes. It looks really good in my opinion. And the same thing on the orange side. If you choose something that is offset, the stripes will look not as nice. So if you choose something that's similar, you can do this with any color. It'll, again, blend the stripes, make it look really nice. As far as the wheels are concerned, I've got blue Veloci wheels and then the red Septums. So this is probably my most overkill car besides my other Octane. Again, red flamethrower, gotta have it, and white flamethrower, gotta have it. My trail, I'm basically using light speed and friction. Nothing too crazy there. And then Sub-Zero, this is my go-to goal explosion. Even though I have ballistic more often now, just because it's newer, I've been using it a lot more. But Sub-Zero is really my favorite one. I really like that punch that it has when you score a goal. And again, so here's my kind of gloating preset. This is my champ one that I kind of bust out every season just to show kind of the showcase of my talents. So again, it's just my red Octane on both sides. I will probably get rid of the red Octane for my blue side. But it's really my orange sides that are really like the most standout. So it doesn't look as good as on the blue car, is my opinion. But anyways, so I've got my bubbly on both sides, and for this one, my primary, I decided to go with like a dark purple just because it blends in the front purple with like kind of the accent of the wheels. But it's really where the orange car shines. It's because I blended, instead of going from purple to like a pinkish, I wanted to blend it in with the red Octane. It just kind of blends a little bit nicer, a little bit easier on the eyes, because the purple goes to the red, which is blends in with the red Octane, and then the purple wheels kind of blend in with the front of the car. So that's kind of where that kind of shines. And again, it doesn't look as nice on the blue team, but I'll be changing that up as soon as we can swap cars between teams. So I've got my Champion Season 2 boost. At the beginning of the season, the only topper I will ever use is my Season 1 Gold Crown. So that's something that I kind of rock just to kind of showcase how long I've been playing this game. And I guess I could show you what that looks like here. It doesn't really fit with these, but with like the rest of the car, but it's more or less just to show all the rewards, all the champ rewards, you know, and higher that I've gotten for each season. So I pretty much rock that, and then the rest of the season I just take it off. Again, no antenna, and then I rock the Season 4 Champion Trail, of course. And then Fireworks Gold Explosion. It just kind of looks nicer with the pink and purple of the car design. So that's kind of why I chose that. And then that's pretty much it. Sometimes I do rock like other cars. Like if I make another preset, I will usually rock like any default car, or my other default preset for a car would be like this. Basically the same colors, same design, everything, just on a different car for my Dominus heatwave. So again, really vibrant primary, black, secondary with heatwave, dark wheels. So that's kind of all my car presets. I did have a request for this, so otherwise I probably wouldn't be making this video. I don't think that my car designs are that great. I don't usually trade a whole lot, but there's something that I rock a lot. I like to be somewhat flashy, but nothing too crazy. I also get really distracted easily, so that's why I don't have a lot of like the crazy stuff. So I do hope to get some of the new black market decals like Trinity in my inventory. That way I'll swap out, probably this decal for a Trinity, see how those look. So anyways, if you guys have any questions about anything, if you want to see other car designs or kind of what I have in my inventory, I'd be glad to make another video on that. So anyways, without further ado, thanks for watching, guys. Avatarmanz, signing out.